What's up, guys? My name is Joe, and it's been a long time since I've filmed my last YouTube video. The last two, at least, were pre-shot from a while ago, so they were shot before they were released. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been a while since I've sat down and spoke to the camera. So if you can give me some slack here while I try to put thoughts into words. This is unscripted completely. If you can do that for me, I'm gonna figure out how to open up and share with you guys everything that's going on. I think I should just jump right to the heart of everything and then maybe provide some context and some filler around that. I guess the number one biggest problem that I've been having, it's like the overall category that has subcategories all connected into this overarching issue, is that I'm not enjoying YouTube. I haven't been enjoying it for a little while. It's really hard to come to terms with that because YouTube, I love it. I love it, and now freaking something's wrong with it. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect from the person who used to upload onto this platform, being myself. I'm talking about myself in the past, to the person now who is kind of uploading because he feels like he needs to be. Let me try to give you a little bit of context, fill you in a little bit. But when I started YouTube, it's been almost 7 years now since I started, and the men's fashion and hair and grooming scene on YouTube was like the wild west. There was no set parameters. There weren't a lot of guys doing it. There was no like real structure on how a men's style video should go because it was a small category back then. It was, you know, there was not a lot of guys doing it. There was a couple people, but really it has grown exponentially since that time, and I absolutely loved what it was. I think I loved the chaos, this new venture. This new field, like this men's fashion stuff. This is all brand new. I just like the fact that there was no rules per se, and I know there's not rules, but there's definitely things that work better than others at this point. And I remember I would get so excited to film a new piece of content. As soon as I had a new idea, I was like, okay, this is great. I have that one idea. I can almost instantly expand it into a full-blown video, just kind of instantly, because I had that motivation, I had that passion. I was excited to get it up there, see what you guys think in the comments and the engagement. Like, that's a YouTuber's life, right? That was like so exciting, and the reason why I wanted to create content was to engage with you guys, to teach you guys something new about hair, especially back then. So many guys knew so much less than they do now. But it was an honest passion that I had when creating content. You know, I never got into YouTube thinking that it was going to turn into a career. As I never ever thought that I'd be having a hair product company as a result of my experimentations when I was living with my aunt and uncle in their basement. That's when I started this channel. I was just doing it because I really liked creating content. And I've stopped liking it as of right now. And we can talk about why. There's a number of factors. I think the first one is the classic YouTube burnout that a lot of these people talk about. I mean, at least for the past 2 years or so, I've been uploading twice a week, mostly about men's hair. And for the duration of my 7 years here on YouTube, most of my videos are about men's hair. So I feel like I have literally exhausted everything that I can do in the men's hair, under the men's hair umbrella here on YouTube, especially when it comes from stuff I can do myself, my own hairstyles, my own hair tips and tricks, how to use a blow dryer, all that kind of stuff, man. I've beaten it into the ground, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with that as well. I constantly want to figure out how I can take what I really like, which is men's hair, and make it interesting and different. And I've been doing that for 7 years, and I think I've hit the limit. So then you might be asking, well, Joe, why don't you branch out into the other aspects? Look at all these other men's style YouTubers talking about how to get girls, how to wear clothes, the best trends. First of all, I have dabbled with that a little bit, but you know what I realized? I really don't care about that stuff as much as I wanted to, and as much as I thought I could make myself care about it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love men's fashion. Like, I do like, looking good and figuring out how to dress myself to look my best in terms of the style that I like. And I think that kind of stuff is important for people to figure out. But when it comes to things like keeping on top of trends, what to wear to make the 10 girls over in the corner look at you and give you a smile, you know, the 5 like most alpha things you can do to stand out in a room, like, it's just not who I am. I can't, I've tried to kind of get into that content, kind of force it a little bit in a way where I was hoping that I would enjoy it. I just don't. I don't like it. And this isn't, you know, an attack at any other YouTubers. Like, I might as well drop names because you guys probably know some of the YouTubers I'm talking about. For example, Alpha M, teaching men's fashion. They're very big on that kind of content. But the thing is, it works for them because that's genuinely the kind of people that they are. I think it's such an important distinction to make, even for anyone consuming that kind of content. Let's take the general topic of 5 things all men have to do to get a girl's attention, all right? Something as broad as that, you know, it's a title that has worked countless times. And on one hand, yes, there are the guys out there looking for these kind of tips and tricks and, you know, probably are able to take bits and pieces that they can incorporate into their own personality. I think that's the best thing that you can do with these kind of videos. The issue, though, is when you start to think that you are a lesser person because you haven't nailed down these things that these people are talking about. Okay, so let's take, for example, the alpha tips. I'm not talking about Alpha M, but like how to be more alpha, how to be more of a man. Those kind of things. Like, I'm struggling to explain what I'm trying to explain, but I think I can get there. At the end of the day, if you try to become something based on what someone else said is the right thing to do, you're never going to be satisfied and you're never going to feel comfortable. Let's say you've worked so hard to do the things to get these girls to notice you, to do the things to get all of these masculine macho men to notice you. As soon as you start doing that stuff and you end up in a crowd with those kinds of people, you're not going to feel comfortable because it's not the people that you would naturally surround yourself with. Again, I want to make the distinction that there are helpful things you can learn, but then it's about how you implement bits and pieces into your life and not trying to redefine who you are because someone says this is the only way to get girls to notice you. This is the only way for you to be established as a, you know, respectable person, because it's not the case. There's so many different, the best thing you can do is be the best version of yourself. And I have not been working on the best version of myself by trying to kind of replicate or dabble with this kind of content because it doesn't resonate with me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the way that men's lifestyle and, you know, style in general has progressed on YouTube, it just doesn't line up with how I like to do things. And like personally, like, do you get what I'm saying? And I've noticed a small transition from kind of the more goofy Joe that I more naturally am to kind of trying to be a little bit more serious and establish myself as like a real figure in the men's style world. But then that's just subscribing to that attitude that I was just talking about that isn't genuine to who I am. And I had lots of people watching my stuff before, you know, the YouTube established as to what the men's style criteria should look like. You kind of have those people, and then you have like me, who's a bit of a goofball, kind of, you know, doesn't take things too seriously, doesn't like giving direct advice, like you have to do this if you want to do this. And I've slowly seen myself kind of shifting in that direction, thinking that this is what I have to do to establish myself as one of these people. So anyways, I've decided I'm not going to do that. I've been draining myself trying to do that without even realizing. I just needed to take a step back, and I haven't been really able to give an update like this because it's a lot of stuff to process. You know, it's kind of there in the subconscious, but then the subconscious has to talk to your conscious. They have to agree on how thoughts are formed, and then those thoughts have to come out of your mouth in a way where people can understand. All right, I'm just now getting there. So where does that leave us? I think that it's still fairly unknown. I can tell you that YouTube, for me, at this point in my life, for this time, I'm not going to be uploading consistently because I know that I'm needing to take a break from having to think about a video schedule that two times a week. But this isn't me coming back to the platform. This is me filling you guys in with everything that I've been feeling. The other thing is it's a really hard decision, and probably what made me endure more stress and more pressure if these other bits and pieces that I'm about to talk about weren't a factor, but they are. And the fact is, YouTube is a big source of income for me. And I don't really have a plan B right now. Although I am kind of working on something, not sure if it's going to happen. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But all I know is that there's going to be a period of time between me taking a break from YouTube and figuring out what I'm doing exactly, where I've taken a big hit in my income. So, you know, the financial thing, that's like what I've been weighing this decision against. And it's gone to the point where I need to just take this leap of faith, really, and kind of see what happens. Now, I gotta say, of course, it's not all negative, and what I do miss the most is being able to read your guys' comments on a new video, get new ideas. I still get messages, even though I've had a big break, on how much I've helped so many people with their hairstyles, and then how that's translated into helping them feel more confident in life in general. And it's such a good reminder that, like, you know, this was a great run. I'm not saying the run's over, I just don't know what's happening next. But I've really, really enjoyed that part of YouTube. And yeah, I just wanted to say that because, you know, I'm not trying to be all negative throughout this. I've really enjoyed the ride that you guys have taken with me, and that you can continue to take with me, because even though I'm pausing from YouTube, I'm gonna remain active on Instagram, because that kind of stuff does not stress me out. Instagram is a little bit easier, and I'm having some fun with it. So definitely, if you want to stick around, please check out my Instagram. It's at by BluMaan. I mean, it's at BluMaan. The hair product one is at by BluMaan. Also worth checking out. And just because I'm taking a step back from YouTube for now does not mean I'm taking a step back from men's hair or from my hair product company. Any support that you guys are willing to give through our hair product company is going to help tremendously as well throughout this time. The hair product company is not going anywhere. We're still working hard on that. There's just going to obviously be less promotion through my YouTube channel, which was a main avenue for a while on you know, how we would promote our products. So that still exists, and they're great products. That aside, you know, we all have opportunities to learn. So what I've learned from this, and what you guys should take home as you continue to watch other men's style content or advice and stuff like that, is always remember at the end of the day to stay true to who you are. We all have the ability to be the best version of ourselves, and that does not mean trying to replicate or mimic what someone else says as the only right way to go. For sure, better yourselves, learn more, take advice, but be cautious on trying to turn the essence of who you are into something else, because that's not going to bring satisfaction, and that's going to constantly make sure that you're in a room filled with people that you're not comfortable being in a room with. Work on being the best version of yourself, and you're going to be in a room with the best types of people around you that should be around you, okay? Now, in terms of what I'm working on, so this is all preliminary stuff. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't even really know if it's going to happen, but I would love my next step to be able to open up an actual physical hair salon at some point in the future. I don't have the funding for it, don't really, you know, I've been working on in the background on how something like this might work. But basically, I want to have like a men's hair salon that is also a content generating machine, so that I can be creating a lot of content still that doesn't rely so heavily on me personally, which is a big part of the burnout that we were talking about. So, you know, there might be a little hiatus from YouTube in terms of the content, or it might be a bit sporadic, but if we can make that happen, I'm going to be coming back with content that still has that BluMaan kind of vibe to it, but it's going to be featuring other people and not just myself. Again, that's the ideal scenario. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, you know, follow along on Instagram for now to keep updated on the progress. I think that's it for now. Again, please follow me over on Instagram for, you know, more frequent posts and stuff like that. YouTube for now, I'm working on it and figuring it out. Hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming from, and that anyone who's feeling in the same boat about, you know, however this may apply to your life, just, we all go through some tough times. This has been some of the toughest times that I've gone through in my adult life. I mean, I'm 26, so I'm sure there's more tough times ahead, but this is definitely memorable as one of the tougher times mentally. So, you know, keep trucking. Keep your head up high. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you over on Instagram.